つの間にか迷子になって自分のことさえもわからなくなってたんだ。思い出して心走り出したあの気持ち、未来は誰のものでもなくこの手の中にこうしてまた作って何度も生まれ変わってく、地図に記されてない道を一人探している。逃げ続けて誰かのせいにして諦めるだけなんてもうやめよう。笑われたって最後の一人になってもういいさ。誰も知らないまだ見たことのない星の色、信じたいのさ映画のようにはいかないけれど、子供の頃の僕が目の前を駆けてゆくんだ。あと少しだけでいい、眠ることも忘れるような空想を超えてゆくようなほんの少しの光を今泣き続けて立ち止まったままで見送ってきた自分を終わらせよう。何回も書いては消していたんだ。まっすぐ見ていても迷子になってしまうんだ。抜け出したい出口のありかは知ってる、だけど動けないんだ。自由に鳥は舞う、遠くまで風を切って行けたら届くかな気持ちよく、透き通る青に懐かしい声のまま僕の名前を呼んでほしいのに。
Well, welcome, gamers. USC 2020 Winners Bracket Final. I'm this one guy, joined by Fiery and Chillier, and we're going to bring you tonight's action. Ohio versus Virginia for a spot in the grand finals. Welcome, gamers.
Action
match. Oh no, I typed the wrong team. Oh no, I typed the wrong team. Why did I write Texas? Oh, this is so sad. Ohio and Virginia. That's okay. So nothing.
We are sorry at Texas.
I have it right in the stream title. I had it wrong in the announcement. Anyway. Ohio versus Virginia, not Ohio versus Texas. That would be the wrong matchup. And this should be fun. I think this is gonna be good.
Yeah, you know, given the caliber of some of the matches that are occurring this weekend and comparing it to, you know, what we saw yesterday and what we expected to come of yesterday, and, you know, hopefully we get some good stuff.
I genuinely don't know who to favor in this matchup. I don't know who I think is like going to win or anything like that. I have no idea. Results is going to be a mystery to us all. Both these teams looked really good last week. Ohio defeated South California, the odds-on favorites to win the tournament, 6-3. Virginia defeated Florida by an identical score. So, teams look really strong.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, you know, I think there's been a lot of discussion about these two teams in the past couple of days about, you know, you have Virginia, who is higher seeded than Ohio, and arguably has the stronger three-person lineup for most maps, given that they have, you know, BTMC Tony and Rectigun. But I don't know if I think you mentioned it yesterday, but, you know, Ohio definitely has the stronger two front-runner sit-ins on Ariu and Kablaze, and, you know, Blairzy, Pupper, and Shotgun Ape in previous years have pushed Ohio to some very far finishes, top 3 almost, in past years. So even though they're, you know, maybe not up to that level of those top players and the sit-ins that each team have, there's definitely some room for substitutions on Ohio versus Virginia here that may give them a little bit of an advantage. You know, you do have players like Kron and One Tabby and Sergeant R that are definitely great at their, you know, respective areas and skill sets, but, you know, definitely a little bit more broken off in terms of skill sets on Virginia here versus Ohio kind of has at least, you know, two players that can basically do everything, especially Lang and Ariu. But, you know, you get players on Virginia like Tony as well, and, you know, there's not really anyone in this game that has Tony's skill set, so he's a very hard player to replace, and on that same note, a very hard player to go up against on certain maps.
And I think, like you said, we talked about depth a lot last night, especially in like the stateless match, for instance. And depth is something that not every state has, and these teams definitely have their front runners. I would definitely, though, Virginia, man, they actually, I think they have a little bit of this 3-core kind of going on now, because they have Ed Tony and they have Rectigon. You'll recognize in game as One Tabby Trash, because apparently that's a username that you still have. And he has been one of the real like rising stars of the tournament scene in the last few months, and I think that's somebody else to watch in this matchup. Is Virginia kind of trying to revolve a little bit around those 3 players, while Ohio will have Ariu Kablaze for every map, but their third will be swapping, I think, a fair amount depending on the picks.
Ohio has like the NorCal roster from last year, essentially, where you have 2 mainstays for pretty much every single map, and you swap them out accordingly for the map. The third person, that is.
think it's going to be interesting, and it'll kind of depend on what gets picked and what and banned to see who the players are that come in for that slot. But we've seen Usha, aka Utsuha. I don't know which one are they going by now. It's Utsuha now, I think. Who's a name that nobody has really seen before this, and they showed up and they've been playing really, really well. But that's still not somebody on the same level as an Ed or a Tony or a Rectagon even. So we'll see if Ohio can match those three with whoever their third ends up being for a lot of these maps.
I feel like unironically Ohio is probably the favored team coming into this match, even though they are the lower seeded, just given their previous performance on different maps. And, Ohio has also showed up with a couple new players this year, notably, Utsuha, who has really kind of come out of nowhere in tournaments. I don't believe I've seen them anywhere, and I'm in most tournament servers. I don't think they've played any of the big or small tournaments lately, but definitely kind of just jumping right out in USC and showing us what they're made of. But the performance from them has been very, very impressive nonetheless. Rectagon has been in a couple tournaments before, but as you did mention, Rectagon is kind of one of the newer faces in this tournament as well. They're all these players that have been here for maybe 1 or 2 years, and then some even from the first iteration in 2017. But those new faces this year are really what are making the difference for a lot of these teams this year. And as much as it's kind of hard to think about as well, BTMC is a new face in USC as well. He hasn't exactly been here for the long run in this tournament, but his tournament improvement lately is very notable, and he's been doing a lot of work for Virginia this year.
Yeah, I think that's such a big factor for Virginia getting farther this year in the tournament. Is Ed has just become a guy who is more than just kind of an aim stream 2-trick. He's improved his DT a lot. He's improved his hidden a lot, and that's done so much to make their roster just more well-rounded, because it meshes really well with, for example, Tony, who's obviously known as this really strong speed player, and this really good low AR and hidden and tech player. So having those two kind of expanding the skill sets out to match each other just makes that team all the more formidable, I think.
Rectagon has been a pretty notable force in Virginia's team as well. You have him pretty much doing what he needs to be doing on the Hard Rock picks, for example. He's done really well, solidly overall throughout all of those.
Yeah, I mean, you can just look last week. Their Hard Rock 1 score was almost 3 million points. Ed and Tony FC'd, and Rectagon came in with a really good backing score as well. So things like that are definitely scores that they can set as a team because of those kind of rounded strengths. One thing I did find interesting, if you look at their compared matches from last week, they had 4 maps in common in their 6-3 victories over their respective opponents, and Ohio did in fact win 3 of those 4 maps. They both played the low AR hidden map, which Ohio, I think, gets banned against them this week. I don't think Virginia leaves that up against Ariu and Kablaze. Virginia did win on Corona, the DT pick they had in common, by a pretty considerable margin, so their speed looked better last week. I think Ohio looked very weak on speed last week. It was kind of strange. I expected them to do much better on that particular, on DTs and speed. I expected them to do better than they did on those picks, but then Ohio did win the gimmicky Nomad 6, as well as the other hidden. So Ohio had 2 hidden picks in common. Ohio won both of them. So some of that skill set still, I think, does favor Ohio, even though Virginia has gotten stronger at it, and it'll be interesting to see if they take those into consideration in the pick bans this week.
They did not have Blairzy last week, which is usually their DT player, the third fill-in. So you have to take that into consideration when comparing the DT scores there.
Yeah, I think we even mentioned that during the stream, I believe, last week, whenever Ohio was kind of going over their DT maps, that they were kind of putting in, Usha and Pupper and Shotgun Ape in a lot of maps that they really didn't, belong in, or per se maybe even I guess, practice for as much as what it seems, but it definitely does make sense knowing that, you know, they definitely didn't have them, that they had to kind of throw it in.
They had to improvise quite heavily.
The fact that they were improvising and they still managed to beat SoCal really says a lot about how strong that roster is. In fact, when you have Airyu and Kablaze literally just going god mode on almost every map, it really goes a long way. Your third player doesn't have quite as much pressure on them when you know your top two are going to be performing so well. That was kind of the story of that match, was really just Airyu and Kablaze absolutely popping off, and then Utsua coming in and doing pretty well in the maps that he was in on. But Ohio, for as long as I've been around, has been the Airyu Kablaze show, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be those two performing hopefully very well again today, because they're going to need it against the strength of Virginia.
I feel like Utsua is going to pop off on some of the free mods as well. He's usually been really good and consistent at the no mod for free mods.
Yeah, that's kind of that value, I think, too, where you have, you know, Airyu can play the hard rock on free mod and Kablaze can play hidden on free mods, and then you have Utsua come in as a really solid no mod free mod player. Kind of like what SoCal did with Vaxay last night, coming in and just putting up good no mod scores on the free mod, so the other players could worry about the mods, and they had a guaranteed backup score for like a very high score on their third player.
First warm up on the tech side of things from these two teams here. So we've seen a lot of teams opt for warm ups that are, you know, kind of fun and messing around, but there's also, once you start to hit the finals, you see warm-ups like this, which I feel like are just here to kind of give the teams a little bit more information about picks and bans and such, which, you know, anything you can get besides just one MP link is definitely useful. And when, you know, neither Ohio nor Virginia have anything to go off of for this pool for either team, it definitely is different, you know, from like those losers bracket matches where you're able to kind of go back and look at MP links and kind of plan this out a little bit. They basically just have to go on previous week's performance, which is, you know, not always the most accurate way of planning for a match of this caliber.
Yeah, I think I think the stuff that favors each team is still pretty clearly defined. I do think you're going to see Ohio wanting to pick or ban, or wanting to pick and play or have banned against them. Really any of the hidden picks, and then, you know, kind of some of this stuff like Nexta. Meanwhile, Virginia, you know, probably going to be looking like Iozora Jumping Heart, for instance, you know, the aim hard rock map if Ohio leaves that up. I think Nomad 1 is a little bit of a toss-up. This Ohio team has really good aim, but so does Virginia. I'm curious to see if we get Nomad 2, if we get Freedom Dive, because that's another one that I think both these teams can do quite well on. And I think, you know, their spreadsheets are probably going to be looking pretty good on this pool. I think both these teams will have very good performances on a lot of these picks.
Yeah, we saw a surprising performance from Florida on Freedom Dive last night. You know, we expected a good performance from Florida. They're definitely, you know, one of the more proficient teams when it comes to streams in overall lineup. But, you know, the performance that we saw from Florida yesterday is just absolutely insane to think about. And with Ohio and, you know, Virginia, I'd say Virginia probably over Ohio having stream players that are a little bit more notable in that skill set, you know, on Rectagon and BTMC. And I guess, you know, we could probably even throw Tony into that, even though that's not exactly his main skill set. We'd be hard pressed to see scores that are, you know, worse by too much than what we saw from Florida. I don't think my mic should be that quiet. I can turn the gain up a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, chat's always back and forth on the sound thing. Like, I can literally, personally, I can barely hear you over the music, but they're still saying the music is too quiet. So I'm like, it all gets output the same from the same source. So
like I can turn my mic down if you really like can't hear the
Oh,
music.
what is that?
but
What
this
is
is a
that?
double tap center stream. Okay. Sergeant R is actually trying to wiggle between the two notes.
You
in the
can
middle
just
if
aim
you
at the
really
middle. You just aim at the middle and double tap the
Yeah.
entire thing.
You know what? That's what Rectagon did, but Sergeant R was like genuinely trying to wiggle that just a little bit.
Right?
I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to go for.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think, what do we say? Probably Hidden 3 gets banned by Virginia, and then kind of their choice of other map. It could be Nomad 6. I could see Nomad 6.
Ohio, I think if they're... I
What
feel
is
like they're going to
Rectagon
ban
doing? What is Rectagon doing right now?
I don't know.
This is not okay. Like, I'm sorry to interrupt everything, but this guy is actually like a solid 200,000 higher than everybody else in this lobby, and only now missing these streams.
Oh, here's that.
Well, I
thing.
mean-
He's double tapping this, obviously, because who wouldn't double tap these?
What BPM is this? Anybody?
This has got to be at least 230.
If it's a Noah map, I'd say 240 or 230, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Why
gotta be
is this
fast.
in the pool? Imagine that map being in a map pool.
No.
Holy crap. No, thank you.
Not at all. Please do not ever put this in a pool, and if anyone does, your tournament is canceled.
Why am I getting pinged in for
Thanks for the map.
WC?
Aw, Drev needs to talk to you. T1G's getting yelled at.
No, it was some random player
Aw,
telling me that they
worse.
changed their username.
And also a lot of new lineups being put out today. Good for them.
It's actually just Drev being lazy.
Yeah, I guess.
He's
it makes
people have been
sense.
sending him lineups and he's just not been posting them.
Yeah, I figured. But, ooh, Aryu with the 91 for Ohio.
That's a pretty good roll. Area 91% low slugger.
You 91%.
Chinese characters
no.
here.
Sergeant R rolling, but he's not the captain, so it doesn't count. Waiting for Tony to come in and roll.
Did get dubs though. It's pretty good.
I'll just Art Colley
Or
has
you
just
just take it as the
stopped
roll, it's
caring,
fine.
or he's just gonna take it. I mean, you're not really gonna beat a 91 anyway. I
We already
guess.
knew from last night that he doesn't care anymore.
Although, I mean, if you're Virginia and you know Colley's just gonna take the 66, why not have Tony come in and roll anyway for the chance that he rolls above a 91, and then just be like, no, Tony is the captain, take this one.
Yeah.
Get that bad RNG out of the way.
Alright, so that means Ohio will have first ban, second pick, and well, this is like what? Nomad 2, Hard Rock 1. Maybe.
Hard Rock
maybe?
1 is the obvious ban here.
Yeah.
From
I think it's got to be Hard Rock 1.
There's not much else that would be a fantastic ban for them. Or at least something that's a little bit more solidified. Oh, there's Tony with the roll.
Everyone just like left the lobby, and I don't know why.
Someone should tell them there is a match in
Yeah,
40
like
minutes.
you actually have to play the match, and I would like this to go quickly. Now we are gonna just run the like next match starts when this one ends strat. So we do
Instead
have
of,
that going
like,
for
me
us.
disappearing to B stream again.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
a best 13 though, so we're already 20 minutes in.
We're 20
Yeah,
minutes in
this
and we don't even have a single ban. Let alone...
And I don't believe that either of these teams has the capability to 7-0 the other, so this is going to be a little bit long.
Area's like
Go in.
not even in the lobby.
Yeah, this is going to take a while. Maybe I should set up the B stream.
No, I told you they're delaying until the
Are they
match is
actually?
literally delaying until this one ends. Fine, I already talked to the teams.
They've agreed to that.
Yeah.
All right, well.
I have a
makes sense.
giant brain. I had that idea this afternoon. I was like,
That's a
at
great
Monko, at Digital Hypno. All right, DT1 Ohio ban. Apparently. Well.
I mean, Ed did FC this in practice immediately before the match, so I guess they might be watching that and be scared about that a bit. It wasn't a really good ACK FC, though. I feel like they'd still probably beat them with players beyond that.
Instant area hidden ban from Virginia, literally to the surprise of no one.
Yeah, that's not at all. And you know, I think it's something like a DT1 ban from Ohio is more on the side of, you know, if Ed has even the chance of FCing a map. You know, Ed is one of like the front 3 players for Virginia, but personally, based on previous performance in this tournament, I really feel like Tony and Rectagon have been the 2 with the highest performance for Virginia. So I feel like in Ohio's minds, if there's a chance that Virginia's, you know, essentially 3rd sit-in player almost has the potential to FC a map like DT1, which, you know, kind of holds still a little bit of RNG being like the consistency DT, it's definitely a safer bet for them to just get rid of it early so that, you know, they don't have that slip up later. Because Ohio is proficient enough in the DTs that they don't really need to worry about losing one of the 4.
Yeah, but so they definitely have enough players for DTs after it.
So
I feel like, sorry.
I was just like wondering what Ohio is taking so long for, because this just has to be Hard Rock 1. Wait, they're double banning DT.
Oh, okay.
They're banning Find the Blue.
Well, the 2 DTs that are left, I was expecting them to keep open because they were honestly probably going to pick those. But DT3, huh?
I really expected Hard Rock 1 over a second DT ban there. I think that was the case for all of us, but maybe they know something we don't, I guess.
I mean, they aren't bad. Ohio is not bad at Hard Rock. They can definitely still play. They can definitely play Hard Rock, but I'm not sure.
Virginia's second ban. There's any number of things this could be, really. This could be Nomad 6. This could be another hidden. I'd
say even DT4. I feel like DT.
At this point, yeah.
Or it could be a free mod. Okay, they banned the free mod 3. That's Logic Air Force. That's the CS5 AR8 free mod. All right.
That's probably a good idea
That's
for
fine
Ohio.
too.
Or no, yeah, that would make sense for Ohio's lineup. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. Utsuha, Nomad FC, Air, you can definitely hard rock that. Blaze is really good at that on hidden. That's a pretty standard ban, I think, from Virginia there.
No, they did play decently on Night of Nights last week, which was like the AR8 CS5 last week. It was a very different style of map, so you can't really directly compare it at all.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it. And then the instant Nomad 2 ban, yeah, no real surprise there either.
that makes sense.
Nomad 2 first pick is like, yep.
Yeah, this is a Virginia map. I think I even mentioned it like right before. You know, Virginia with Rectagon and BTMC on, you know, some very, very proficient streaming, and Tony not being too far behind them. Definitely a strong one for them. Although, you know, Ohio running with Kablaze and Ariu as 2 very strong stream players to begin with, just like on base skill alone, and then, you know, they have some decent additional players. I do imagine this is something that either Usha or Blairz is going to play, or Utsuha rather, just because of the BPM.
Utsuha is going to be coming in for Ohio on this one. BTMC the move.
MP move BTMC 6, please. At Kali? Oh my god, now they're in the wrong slots because
Let's
you didn't.
go!
Honestly, great trade. Fantastic trade. Love to see it. There's a free agent now.
Alright, now they're in the right places. We have our expected rosters. We're gonna be able to, looks like, get started with the match, finally. 30 minutes into things. We'll see our first map. And it will be Freedom Dive.
Is Vaxe? Vaxe is not playing right now until later.
Actually, it's in Virginia.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
going to next map.
Somebody that's a mod, edit that command. 'Cause
Yeah,
if I
Vaxe
type,
caught the red
everyone
eye.
will get mad at me, so.
Yeah, Vaxe caught the red eye to Virginia this morning.
Vaxe will play after this match. Vaxe is not currently playing. Alright, I'll fucking do it myself. You brought this upon yourselves.
Anyway, getting started, the first map. Ohio versus Virginia. Virginia's pick. We'll see. Deliver.
It's going to be an interesting one. Accuracy falling a little bit on the side of both teams here, but Ariu and Tony both keeping the double S early. We saw Exarch hold a double S well into about halfway through the map yesterday, so it's fully possible. It's not too difficult at the beginning of this map, honestly. If you're proficient in this, you know, BPM of streams and you know, you're kind of warmed up for this match, there are definitely a lot of players that would find the beginning of this map very, very straightforward. And, you know, once you get to the end, the stamina starts to kind of drop a little bit.
It's pretty dead even at the moment, though.
Yeah, this map will stay dead even for about the first third to half, because there's just not anything that if you're still in the tournament at this point that you should miss on it that until later in the map when it gets actually difficult. I mean, honestly, we saw a 5-way FC on this until, what, like 1850 combo or something last night between Florida and whoever they played. Would have played somebody. Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
The one time it's actually Texas. I can't remember Texas.
This is bad. Anyway, 10k point lead for Virginia, solely from Ack alone. Going into the slow part here.
Yeah, this is one of those maps where at the beginning of the map, unless you miss a jump or for some reason get really nervous and, you know, over or under aim something, this is a really, really easy beginning, and it only really starts to get hard after this stream right here.
Oh, Tony just dropped a
hitting
whole
it.
bunch of back, though.
On the map, yeah.
Tony and Utsuha, though. Utsuha's down under 98% to 97.6 or so. It's going to stay very close.
Oh, net gain for Virginia, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh,
And
there goes
Area
Aries
drops it back as well, yep. It's going to be about whoever misses. Like, somebody will miss eventually somewhere, but it's just going to get later and later, and it's going to be scarier and scarier as we hit this next little break.
Yeah, this is very close. 30,000 points on a 3v3 on a map this long is absolutely nothing.
This right now from any side is just going to shift that score lead and just run away with it instantly.
BTMC's act dropped quite a bit like Arius did earlier, so that's going to give a little bit over to Ohio, but there's no way we see a 6-way FC on this.
I mean, arguably
Right?
you could say this map is too easy for this pool, and we do see some very good results from it to kind of indicate that, but man, oh man.
Yeah.
We have six FCs through 1450 combo.
This is very impressive, honestly.
Up and down to the wire.
Holding the nerves on this as well in a winner's bracket finals match is also very impressive from all of these players. There goes Blazer!
And it's over.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's... Ooh, but Rectagon misses.
After.
This is going to stay a little bit close, but they need another break from Virginia, like now for Ohio. The early break from Ohio actually is going to give this to Virginia by a decent amount. That miss was way later for Rectagon. And if nobody else misses, this goes very
This
heavily
last
to
stream,
Virginia.
Tony broke. It's gonna go over if they both hold on. Oh, Utsuha broke as well, and Aries died at the end. Oh my god! That last stream, dude. That last stream. It gets them all.
We
Holy.
went from 4 FCs to 1 on Bistro MC.
And that's an 18,000 point first map. All right, guys. If that's what we're in for tonight, this is gonna be a good one. Oh my god, that last stream is literally cursed, man. Holy crap!
I don't know what I saw, but it was something.
The scary part here is if you're Virginia, that was your own first pick, and that was how close your own first pick was. It was literally just the last stream of the map. Not nearly as heavily favored a first pick as you'd probably like. So we have the first pick to come from Ohio. And they have a lot of options here, depending on what kind of skill set they feel like leaning into in this matchup. I do think that we could see something like a Runai Circulation or a Saisaki. Ohio probably going to feel pretty strong in the hidden pool against Ed, who is getting better at hidden, but still not like S-tier hidden player. Rectagon is not a hidden player either for the most part. I think that's probably the skill set that favors Ohio most in this matchup. That and maybe gimmicky type of stuff. But they could just go for one of those 2 DTs that were still up. Honestly, there's a lot of options. And it's going to be Hard Rock too. So we are going to get Paradise, which is... well, it is the gimmick kind of skill set, just in the Hard Rock pool rather than in a Nomad or a Hidden pool, for instance.
Yeah, this is an ACK battle map more than anything, I feel.
Yeah, this is like get through the first section and then just try to keep your ACK above like 94% because this is really hard to ACK.
I think Kron. Ooh. Supposedly going to be seeing Kron playing for Ohio on
Who
this.
does he replace? Tony on this? You gotta think that Ed and Rectagon are gonna stay in for a Hard Rock pick.
I'm not too sure about Ed, actually.
Okay. You think it's too gimmicky for his kind of favored pick?
I just feel like he's just gonna get out-act, and if he misses, it's over. But it doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case. Pupper, Punt, whatever you want to call him, gonna be coming in for Ohio. Seems like Virginia's keeping the same roster.
GLHF's coming out, so they are set. Pupper, Ariuka Blaze, Tony, Rectagon, and Ed. Virginia keeping that 3 core that we discussed before. To answer chat, bans were DT1 and DT3 from Ohio, and then Hidden 3 and Fremont 3 from Virginia. Let me write that down somewhere. I'm gonna make a command out of that so I don't have to keep answering it. We're gonna get underway here. Map number 2. It's Ohio's first pick, so you gotta think it's something that they feel pretty confident about.
Main thing to pay attention here is, well, when the hard part comes, that, because misses there will definitely affect it, but mostly you want to be focusing on the ACK here. Starts off fairly slow. It's not too hard to ACK this beginning.
Not too hard, as we see 4 players at or below 96%. Meanwhile, Kablay's holding the SS somehow. This is like the duality of...
Pupper missing on that stream, but this is the hard part now.
This rhythm is so difficult. Boy, everybody holding okay. A lot of ACK drops. Pupper breaking once again. The lead is going to stay with Virginia despite Ed being down at 89% accuracy. Rectagon holding actually the best, or Tony, excuse me, holding the best ACK, 95%.
Really, I'd say that's the most difficult part of the map, so the rest of these are probably going to end up being... Are you missing on
That's
that?
over
Well, as I was saying, it's like fairly straightforward for the most part after the beginning intro right there. There's not too much to miss on in this latter half of the map. And we will see Virginia already having a 500k score lead, 3 FCs to 1. Pretty much seals it.
Yeah, this is not particularly close. I don't know if Ohio just underestimated Virginia on this type of pick, or they're underperforming, or a little bit of both, but this is quite impressive from Virginia. The accuracy notwithstanding, it's a triple FC, and honestly, Tony 97 nearly percent is not too shabby.
They're actually going with 96 as well. Ed getting his ACK, but he gets the FC.
That's a 3-way FC on a Hard Rock pick where nobody got over 1 million points. That's something else. Triple FC. Okay. Well, that's a break point for Virginia in an early 2-0 lead. Don't know that I expected that. Good job, all 3 of them. Ed with the A rank FC. That's okay.
69 100s.
Nice. Also, we were pretty spot on with the accuracy. 6% best and 92-94 for everybody else. It is an ACK map.
I feel like the misses actually affected Ohio there. If they didn't miss, that sounds easy in hindsight, but if they didn't miss, the ACK advantage was actually in favor of them solely because Ed's ACK is just
Ed did not have ACK, in fact. Didn't.
So if they I feel like that was a bit of an unfortunate series of misses from them rather than anything else, really.
But Virginia now has the opportunity to consolidate the early break point. They can run out to a quick 3-0 lead here. It takes half an hour to get into the match, and then it can take about 10 minutes for 3-0. If we're not careful here. I think Hard Rock won? Hard Rock won, anybody?
I feel like Virginia's gonna eventually come and pick that, especially after winning a Hard Rock like that.
We did have Khabib talking last night about, especially in these big best ofs, not being overly worried about the early couple points. But you still don't want to be playing from behind. And Hard Rock 3, so we're going to get the small circle Hard Rock as the second pick here for Virginia.
This is a decent idea from them. Get the small circles out of the way before you get nervous about everything. I think that's a relatively solid strategy. You're already up 2-0. Don't need to worry too much.
The ref pasting the rules for free mod on a Hard Rock pick. Thank you, Kali. Good stuff. Yeah, so, and Virginia also is obviously looking to keep these three in, as they're going to have 3 maps in a row without a single player swap. Ohio will keep Pupper in as their third, so they're going to go their first 2 maps, or the second and third maps, I should say, with the same roster. But Virginia feeling pretty good, I think, that early lead. We'll see how their precision aim does, but they are very good at that skill set. I think another pick that's pretty solid for them. Ohio's got to rebound quickly to avoid falling down too big a deficit early on here. That's never a fun position to be in. This is... well, it's Pupper breaking early once again, is what it is. Not anything else. But Rexy and Tony going to come back with a couple of breaks of their own for Virginia, so lead will go to Ohio as Ariu and Kablaze hold for the time being, but it's a very long map and we're very early into it.
The ACK advantage is slightly in favor of Ohio as well right now. BTMC, even though FCing has a low 96 right now. Tony going to be missing again. Ariu drops as well, so it's 1 FC to 1 now, but...
Combo advantage. Excuse me. Combo advantage does go to Ohio for the moment. Not by much, though. And not anymore. There's a break from Pupper once again. He is,
That was a slider break. That's unlucky.
Not starting off the way he would like to in this match.
We'll go to Virginia now.
Oh, wait. What? Recticon and Kablaze just broke on the same note unless it's my client.
That favors Virginia, actually. That is Kablaze the FC gone, and now Pupper going to be pulling up with his own miss.
Wait, they just did it again!
It's just BTMC.
It's literally Ed, and Tony's got a good combo now. He's gonna match Ariu, and then Ed can just do his thing until that's the break.
Yeah, this is Ariu.
Okay!
It's just Ariu and Tony.
If Tony breaks, there's some room for Ohio here. We're only halfway through. It's a very long map.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of room. If Blaze keeps breaking, they're gonna have a really hard time.
$100K point difference at the break.
I agree with Dada. There is definitely a little bit of a free combo section coming up here.
Which is fine for Virginia, really.
Yeah, they can just kind of relax with this. They do have a little bit of an accuracy, and Ariu breaks on nothing.
All right, well, the map may have just
All right, well, there goes all of Ohio, unfortunately. Ariu slider broke on nothing on the free combo section. So
You kind of hate to see that happen.
yeah, Tony's going to bring this one home for Virginia with one tabby trash and BTMC on his back.
rushed the slider there or something. I'm not sure what happened, but are you still holding the S rank as far as I know? Because he hasn't actually missed yet. Yeah, Tony with his combo just gonna bring Virginia this point.
Yeah, Tony's doing really well in this, and Ed has recovered a pretty solid combo to back it up. Not far behind in terms of score, and Virginia just, I mean, it's not going to be like a massive victory, but it was really never in doubt this entire pick. They've been ahead. Tony finally breaking here near the end, but too late to have any effect on the final outcome as we are at the ending.
Yeah, rough finish to that map for Ohio with a couple unfortunate breaks. Ariu still top scoring for his team, even with the slider break. So, you know, you can kind of make the argument that Ariu did throw away a little bit of that map for his team, but at the same time, his teammates really couldn't keep up with him as well as he probably needed them to. Especially with BTMC and Tony putting up almost 700k each. BTMC with a 1 miss, no slider breaks.
And that's a very early consolidated break point for Virginia. I don't think we expected this to start off quite that quickly going to the 3-0. But Ohio, now on their second pick, they're going to change up the strategy here. Find something a little different.
This is going to be an interesting one if Ohio is not going to, be able to figure this out pretty quickly. This is kind of shaping out to be what Texas, Florida was like.
Kaizo Trap, Nomad 4 going to be coming out. This is the, I would argue, the easiest map in the pool. So I guess they're feeling confident in a 3-way on this. I don't really see a reason to pick this, though.
There's missable patterns in this map, and it really just depends on how good your flow aim feels at a given point in time.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting map, especially against Virginia, who happens to have one tabby, who kind of like has mastered this type of map. I feel like he's going to put up an insane score for Virginia, as well as Tony, who basically owns this section of the game as well. And BTMC has made massive improvements when it comes to alternating maps.
Meanwhile, Ohio, I mean, it's just going to be Kablaze Ariu, and it's going to be Utsuha coming in for this one, so...
One tabby also coming in replacement for Rectigon.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, that's
knowing one tabby's skill set, this is it for him. Like this is the map that one tabby will perform his mind off on, if anything.
And we talked about last night, we talked about a little bit how alt maps can just be a little bit shit missy because they'll have patterns here and there that you can just kind of break on, and that's a little bit of a coin flip feeling.
No, this map in particular has a lot of patterns that are really awkward and don't really make that much sense unless you practice the map. Utsuha going to be finding an early break. That's not going to matter at all, but...
Yeah, that was weird. All it really did was take a big hit on his accuracy, but still a weird place to miss at the beginning. We've seen some really good scores on this map despite some of the patterns. Idki did FC this yesterday, but that is Idki. So I guess we can't really base too much off of that, but at least there are people that, have practiced the pool that have proven that it is possible. And, we have players that are just as good on this type of map in the lobby, so we will be seeing some high scores. Virginia with a 3-way double S still, very unsurprising. Just Ariu left on Ohio, but Kablaze pretty close behind.
This is relatively low OD, so it's not... Oh, okay, one tabby going to be breaking on the repeat.
That's going to be a rough one for Virginia here. Utsuha's miss was really early, so it's not going to matter too much in the long run, and the score is going to go back to Ohio with one tabby missing about 250 score on everyone else right now.
And Tony going to be dropping as well. This is shaping up to be a good pick for Ohio.
Interesting to see Virginia kind of running this down. You know, Utsuha does finally miss for Ohio, but I feel like with the lineup on Virginia, this is not the way we expected this to go for them. Ariu and Kablaze, you know, known for performing on this type of map, but Virginia definitely kind of letting it slip a little bit on this. This could be a lot closer, even if Ohio was probably destined to win this map, having it be their own pick.
You know, one thing to keep in mind on this is that it is almost 4 minutes long, and we are only about a third of the way through, just past a third. So there is still a lot of time for anything to happen. You know, Ohio can find breaks. You can miss anywhere on this pick. So it's never over until the very end of the map, or until it's really, really out of reach. But you don't like to see those early breaks.
That pattern's probably one of the harder ones in the map, I'd argue.
Yeah, some of these different triangle overlaps here are definitely designed to catch people, but everyone's hitting these stars.
Everyone hit the star. That's impressive.
Ed with the only FC left for Virginia. One Tabby not too far behind him, and Tony's a little bit behind One Tabby, but there is still 2 FCs just past the halfway point in the map now for Ohio. And Utsuha has caught up, who is now matching Tony.
It is still only a 100,000 point lead here for Ohio.
Utsuha's going to be dropping. That might be
Enough.
That might be a problem.
That's going to be enough for Virginia to take a decent combo lead here. BTMC is basically nullifying the score that Ariu's getting right now. And now that One Tabby and Tony have way higher combos than Utsuha, and Kablaze, you know, with that FC is only just a little bit ahead of One Tabby by about 300 combo. There is enough time for Virginia to kind of claw this back, you know, given that nobody else misses on Virginia. I do believe Tony's
Rectagon's going to be dropping, and that just settles that.
Yeah, One Tabby might have just given this one back over to Ohio. It would take a pretty big collapse for them to drop this point now.
Yeah, this would have to be Kablaze and Ariu both missing right now, and even then, I think it would still be very close.
It's sealed at this point.
Yeah, at this point it is. They would have had to miss right at the end there, and, you know, nothing from either of them. Very strong performance from Ariu on this with that 99.93. What does he have, 1/100 still? Ed with a very good performance as well, 99.74 to finish the map out, so great from him, but Ariu's play on this is absolutely crazy. 1x100 for him.
Kablaze is not far behind either.
Yeah, Kablaze with a very impressive play as well, and BTMC actually beating Kablaze's accuracy with 4/100s for Virginia, so great from him, but Ohio all around, Kablaze and Ariu bringing that one home for their team.
Worth noting is that Ariu Kablaze and Ed Tony both combined for 6/100s between each of those duos. Tony just threw in the 2 misses. That was a gamer score from Ariu, man. He's pretty good at that stuff, you could say.
Yeah, One Tabby actually very unfortunate. Also had 1x100, but he had those 2 misses and the slider break that put him below the rest of his team. He had a lot of potential.
Huh, DT2 from Virginia. Okay.
Not the worst thing I have ever seen from Virginia, given that DT2 is a little bit more of an unconventional DT.
And it's also really diff spiky most of the time. I feel like this map mostly just comes down to that one long stream pattern. If everything is ideal, you don't miss before the stream pattern. But against Ohio, I'm not really sure this is a good pick, because this is Kablaze's home territory. Like, Kablaze and Ariu both can play this.
Yeah, this is the type of map that you definitely see come out of Ohio. But Virginia has to have some sort of confidence on this to feel that they can win it.
I mean, Virginia does have good DT players. They're not bad at DT by any means. You got Tony, DT, Prodigy. Ed has been practicing his speed a lot more, so he's definitely not as bad as he used to be at DT in that regard. Hupper gonna be coming in for the 3rd player. Okay.
Interesting. I'd also like to give a shout out to Ohio, who has decided to have 2 players change names mid-tournament. It is now confusing the hell out of me when different players.
Well, SoCal has that beat, considering one of their players' name changed twice during the tournament.
Hey, Idkey.
How's it going? Hey, man.
Hey, man, how's it going, man?
How's it going? How you doing?
What's up? What's up today? How we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah,
Rectigon is currently non-existing.
Rectigon is gone. Let's try panicking and see if he shows up. Yep, there he is. Okay.
Yeah.
He is here.
You know, I think Ohio had to think about their bans, and they chose the 2 DTs they banned for a reason. So you gotta think this would be one of the ones they were actually feeling decent about. But you get the early break from Pupper along with Rectigon.
Still fairly even, though, because both of them did break around the same spot. The beginning square is pretty hard to hit. As well as all these other squares. Rectigon could be missing on that. And Tony!
That is... Well, Kablaze broke as well, so it's Airyu versus...
and there goes Ed! There goes Ed! It's Airyu! It's Airyu! Oh!
I mean,
Forget everything I said.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what were we expecting?
Well,
this is the Airyu show right now.
it's Airyu's world.
This is Airyu.
Although his team
Airyu
is kind of
goes
inting. Fortunately, Virginia is also inting, so it doesn't actually matter that much. How is this flickering? Does somebody have more of a combo than I think they do? Okay, Pupper's actually running it down. Pupper's running it down.
Oh no, Pupper's
Yeah.
combo just came back. Pupper's combo just came back. Oh, and there he is.
Yeah, no. Maybe? I don't know.
His combo came back for a second, and then it disappeared again.
Yeah. Pupper's actually kind of gifting this to Virginia by himself. Like, Airyu can only carry so hard if Pupper continuously misses like this. I really don't actually understand why
And
he's
Kablaze missing as well.
Yeah, Airyu's team is running it down for him right now.
It is really sad to be Airyu right now.
There's not enough map left. BTMC, Tony, and Rectigon all have to miss one more time.
There is a
Ohio.
long stream coming up.
True.
There is a long stream.
I mean, who would miss the long stream? Maybe Ed if his stamina's feeling low, but I mean,
Everyone misses, and Airyu misses right after.
oh my god.
That was the chance for Ohio too. If Airyu had held on there, he would have been able to carry this for Ohio. But instead, it's just gonna be a full combo reset, and Virginia is gonna take this point, almost guaranteed now.
Yeah, this is it for Virginia. Airyu just doesn't have the teammates backing him up like Virginia does right now. Virginia has almost the same score on all 3 of their players. And for Ohio right now, it's Airyu. Kablaze is like kinda in the mix, and then Pupper is just a little bit gone.
Yeah, this was. I mean, if Pupper just had like an okay score, Ohio would have been right in this. But that was. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he was in on that map, quite honestly, because they have like Blairzy on the team, who I've got to think could have played that instead.
Maybe they don't have Blairzy?
I don't know, because there's no way you don't have Blairzy in on that map if he's playing tonight. So maybe he's just not here.
He's got to not be here right now. There is 0 chance that they would have lost that in my mind if they had, you know, the lineup that they probably should have put out on that. And, you know, I'm kind of surprised because, I mean, even though this isn't the type of map that Kablaze would normally be like the front runner for, I was definitely surprised at a lot of those misses from her.
Yeah, that was a weird map. I mean, you had Virginia, which all 3 of their players were between 505 and 540 UK, and then you have Ohio, where Airyu gets 770k, and the other 2 both get under 400k. Like, the discrepancy in performance was just ridiculous. And if you literally had just an average player, like just put in a 500k player for Ohio, they win it. That is the way the cookie crumbles.
It was Virginia's pick, however, so it won't be another break for them.
Ohio does still have a chance to kind of pick this back up a little bit. They are 3 points down, which does look bad on paper, but, you know, with this much of a pool left on the finals, and, you know, hopefully Ohio still has some picks left in the bank, they'll be able to recover at least 1 or 2 more points on this, at least. You know, we kind of hope. We said the same thing about the Florida versus Texas match, and, you know, I think Ohio is kind of showing Texas mentality just a little bit here. I think they're kind of dying a little bit on the picks that they thought that they would be more comfortable with, and the same thing kind of happened with them, where they just got a little bit unlucky with not performing the best on their own picks, and then of course the opposing team, Florida, in this case Virginia, is just really confident on everything.
You guys like your eardrums.
They're doing it to us. All right, well, we are turning this down really far. Jesus, man.
Of course, it'd be AirU to pick this.
Of course.
I need to know.
Won't be seeing head swap though.
I need to know what volume makes this listenable, but not like eardrum blasting, because I can't really tell. So I need somebody in chat who's not a troll to tell me how this volume is. All right, everybody in chat's trolling.
I'd say you could go up maybe 5%, and then that would be it.
All right. We're gonna just go 35% here, and then I'll remember to turn it up after this. This song is unlistenable, man.
Yeah, so I think at that volume is fine. I think we'll be good there.
Can we get Kraus as a featured artist?
God.
All right,
Can I just put a gun in my ear and pull the trigger?
Maybe.
Now that's not safe for stream.
The bench will be cold now as Chrono 5 makes it off the bench for the first time since what, the quarterfinals?
I don't know if we saw him even at all last week. So
maybe he wasn't here last week. There was definitely a couple maps that I think he might have been able to play, but Kron is definitely not up to the skill cap of his other players. He definitely has a very good floor, but when it gets to these harder maps, I definitely think he starts to kind of drop out just a little bit compared to his teammates. So we'll just be seeing less of him purely based on the skill of his teammates rather than just his own. But he will be running hidden.
Yeah, pretty expected mod combinations from everyone. AirU, Blaze with the Hard Rock hidden, respectively. Rectigon with the Hard Rock. Utsa with the no mod.
The Blaze with the inability to hit a 300 in the first 50 combo. Everything going according to plan.
When you're getting blasted, it's kind of hard to, actually play the song.
AirU and Kron have already broken, so it's already 2 FCs to 2, and right now it's in favor of Ohio on accuracy alone.
Kablaze?
Accuracy kind of struggling on Kablaze quite a bit. Kablaze did not miss, by the way. That's Bancho.
Okay, all right, that's good.
But the accuracy is certainly no better. Now she is down at 95.6.
That was a miss, though.
That is a real miss. Ooh, that is another real miss for Kablaze, so really struggling on the Ki build up here. Kron has recovered from his earlier miss, so is AirU, but this is going to Virginia on Kablaze's miss right now, not even necessarily the accuracy, which is in the favor of Ohio.
And AirU's going to be missing again.
Interesting pick from Ohio.
Yeah, it's just Utsa versus Rectigon and Tony right now.
Boy, I don't know what's going on with Ohio tonight, but this is not what we expected out of them at all. There's a three-way miss from Blaze, One Tabby Trash, and Kron 05. Okay.
Yeah, that could make a difference.
This is going to be close now. There's a quarter of the map left. Utsuha is matching Tony right now on the no mod, and AirU has a higher combo than Rectigon and Kron combined. Kablaze is kind of just matching up with them a little bit, and everyone breaks. There goes Tony. This is going to go to Ohio a little bit towards the ending. There is definitely enough time as long as Utsuha holds it.
He absolutely has to, though. He cannot miss. Oh, AirU misses, though.
Oh, that
could be it. Ooh, but Tony missed.
Utsuha can still carry this because he puts up a million points with an FC.
This is going to be so close. I think Utsuha has enough time to go at the spinner.
Nope.
He doesn't. They lost it.
Oh my gosh. Another...
I think it was Kablaze's miss at the end, I think, combined with Kron just missing with her. But that really was close at the end. AirU and Kablaze on the mods here, not quite able to put the performance up that I imagine they wanted to. Sub 450k for both of them is not something you traditionally see out of AirU and Kablaze, so definitely struggling on this map more than they wanted to. Utsuha, however, fantastic no mod play. AirU with an unfortunate miss at the end.
16k, man.
So close.
Actually,
This
not
is,
even. That was like
ridiculous.
15K. Current con was a little
Yeah,
off.
2 picks already. Sub 20K difference.
And Virginia got both of them. And it's now 5-1. This is turning one-sided in a hurry.
This is, I keep saying it, I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. This is really shaping up to be Florida versus Texas here. Like, this is really
Hard Rock 1 pick.
kind of going one-sided now. Even if Ohio isn't, completely dying out on the picks here, this is really not going the way they want it to. Bless you. Bless you, sir. Everyone say bless you.
This is
too.
the downside of not using push to talk.
This is gonna be. We were expecting Virginia to pick this, so this isn't too surprising.
Yep,
Be
yep.
seeing-
4.5 minutes of anime jump map.
Can we get Verderix in?
At Verderix.
Yeah, can we get
Somebody
a
make sure
Verderix?
Verderix knows. Is he in chat right now? Okay.
He
Alright,
is.
he's in chat.
And that is going to be coming in. That'll probably be the final rosters, unless there's a curveball somehow.
Yeah, I don't see any reason that Virginia would change their lineup here. This is definitely the 3 strongest Hard Rock players that they can put out on their team, especially for a consistency map like this. This is just jumps.
Anime.
Anime
You
jumps.
guys like anime? You like Love Live?
You like dogs? Wait.
You like Praxia in the background?
I like nothing more. Praxia
like
in the
that.
background is my literal favorite thing.
I look forward to nothing more than seeing Apraxia on my streams.
Praxia twice in the background on the right.
Double Apraxia.
Alright. So, everybody knows what to expect out of this. It's just a matter of how your aim feels, and Tony with the early break for Virginia.
Could that be an omen, or is that just unlucky?
You know, if
I-
Ohio wins this, do they just pick Nomad 1 right after it?
Yes.
Shades
honestly,
of Kablaze versus Fiery Rage NAT?
At this point, it just needs to go that way. Yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you. I really still hate that slider break on Hard Rock 1. I'm actually so upset about
that was the
That was
funniest thing I've
tragic,
seen.
actually.
That was tragic. Some good jumps here to start the map off. Nobody missing them. It's still just Tony's very early miss, which is barely giving a score lead to Ohio, but it is there.
Everyone's SSing right now, which is still keeping Virginia pretty even in the academic department here.
Yeah, basically dead even. Pupper is losing to Tony in accuracy.
Ed is
but they're
dropping on that jump.
I was about to say, Pupper was losing to Tony in accuracy, but was winning based on the combo alone, and Ed was matching Kablaze, but now this is going well in the favor of Ohio, with Aryu just a little bit behind Rectagon on the accuracy, but Kablaze basically right alongside Aryu with the accuracy, and Pupper not too far below 99%, so still a great score.
This is a very long map. As you can see, the score difference isn't even really increasing that much despite those misses.
We are not turning the volume up just because you all love Live. I am sorry.
God, I love anime.
Anime's my favorite.
This is it.
Like, when I think of Osu, this is just the only thing that ever comes to mind.
An anime
The-
that
the-
has 7
yeah,
high school
song.
girls in the background.
The song, Upside Down R.
Of course.
Yeah,
This map is
the
hard.
slider art looks really bad when there's hard rock applied.
Yeah, upside down
I
R.
feel like that goes for any map, though.
Yeah,
Pupper is
yeah,
giving this triangle.
This is going to be a little bit closer now. It's still going to be in the favor of Ohio on, Aryu and Kablaze, but BTMC is building up a decent combo, and at about halfway through the map, Pupper actually probably missed at the worst spot you could miss in.
Yeah. It's like almost directly halfway in. That's not a good miss spot at all.
It's about 600,000 max score now, 650,000 if he FCs the rest with this accuracy. Ooh, but
Tony
there's-
will be dropping as well, so that will still give Ohio the advantage combo-wise.
Decent event as well. Tony was one of their higher combos. He was essentially FCing with Rectagon, assuming we don't count that very early miss that essentially meant nothing. But BTMC definitely well behind everyone, still about 400 combo behind, which is a decent amount of score by this point in the map.
Nearing the end of it, still doable for Virginia. It will take one of Ariu and Kablaze missing, though, and Rectagon to hold.
Rectagon not looking to be wavering, but, you know, neither does Ariu with that accuracy holding very strong. Kablaze has found a couple extra hundreds, but nothing to be alarmed about yet. Pupper found a break, but his combo is already back above Tony's. Here's a big jump section, and nobody misses it to the pause.
Surprising. Well, we're going to be seeing the last chorus here.
Oh, Kablaze and Pupper both break!
Oh, no.
This is going to go over to Virginia very fast. Wait, Kablaze and Pupper just missed again? This is going to go massively over to Virginia. Somebody on Virginia needs to break if Ohio wants to miss. Pupper's just throwing the ending. Pupper's throwing the ending of this map away. It's gone.
Ohio just decided to not know how to play the game anymore after that little break, I guess?
It's just Ariu for the second map again.
Ariu's back is literally breaking.
That could be enough. Tony just missed. That could be enough.
No, it's...
Oh,
Kablaze missed again. That's it. That's it. It's going to go to Virginia at the last couple seconds here. Neither One Tabby Trash nor BTMC missing at the end. It's just Ariu for Ohio. And One Tabby Trash still holding accuracy that is the exact same as Ariu into the slow section at the end here. BTMC does not miss these.
They literally both have to die at the end. They both have to just set their pens down.
Yeah. Even then, it's
oh,
gone
you
now,
hate
60,
to see it, man.
That is unfortunate. Ohio just forgetting how to hard rock at the end of that map.
They seriously, like, they just hit the last ki, and it was like, we don't know how to aim anymore. Here you go, enjoy your point. 6-1 Virginia. I don't think any of us expected this to be so one-sided, but Virginia just looks dominant in this matchup.
They're just so much more consistent in this match today.
Their consistency on, like, every pick.
Yet another close loss for Ohio, 50k points. Like,
But
if you take some of the unfortunate and this is out, this would have been so much closer.
It means very little for all the maps to be close if you lose all of those close maps. You know, like, if you're splitting those close maps, that's one thing. But you have 3 close maps and you lose all 3 of them, like, that's just not enjoyable.
It's just unfortunate because Ariu is putting up these insane scores and his teammates are holding with him for the majority of the map. But, you know, like we just saw in that last map, it wasn't like, if it was just one miss from Pupper and Kablaze, Ohio would have been able to keep that because Tony broke the ending and BTMC was a combo behind and it was just Rectagon on the FC matching Ariu. So all that needed to happen was Kablaze misses once, holds combo for the rest of the map, and Pupper, you know, kind of performs the same way that he did at the beginning, where he, like, misses once, but kind of holds combo and then misses again in, like, the quick breaks. But Kablaze found, what, like 4 misses immediately at the end, dropping a ton of score, and they were, like, 100 combo apart as well, which just drops a ton. And Pupper missing that entire stream as well, just not setting a good precedent for the end of the map.
I'll be seeing Ohio's potential last pick coming in soon.
Ohio needs to be very smart about this. I know they're probably, you know, running a little bit low on the motivation right now, but they've got to find some way to hold themselves in this against a very, very strong Virginia right now. Can't wait to see Ariu's match costs after this. He's doing a lot for his team right now. Interesting.
Anybody else not understand why Ohio isn't picking just, like, hidden or tech? Like,
yeah,
they didn't pick Saisaki, they didn't pick Renai Circulation, they didn't pick Nexta, they didn't pick Ouroboros. Like, there's all these picks that I expected Ohio to pull out, and they didn't pick any of them, or haven't yet picked any of them.
This does kind of make sense. I mean, this is another alting map, which they did win in Nomad, and this is a very hard rock favored alting map, given this is CS2. So I think Ohio is probably just banking on Ariu and Kablaze's ability to hard rock and alternate against Virginia right now.
Banking on Utsuha to FC this.
Probably with the Nomad.
He did not do that bad on the last mod. They're probably expecting him to FC, and then Ariu and Kablaze just do slightly better than last time.
It could be really close. I've played this map quite a few times, and there are a lot of really dense patterns that, you know, are not necessarily hard to hit, but not moving your cursor too fast on these is all too possible if you're not completely ready for what this map is going to throw at you. But some of the triangle jumps as well in this, or rather the stars, definitely are going to give some people some trouble on this. But it'll be interesting to see the mods. I definitely think Utsuha is going to be going with the no mod, and I imagine either Tony or Rectagon will.
Tony hidden, Rectagon hard rock, Airyu hard rock, Blaze hidden. That is going to be no mod.
The one thing I can be sure about is that Utsuha is going to be the combo player for Ohio on this one. This is it.
And yep, that was exactly correct. Nice.
Nice.
It's pointing at you.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting map. Sedia maps are not very friendly to people with hard rock here, so Eri, you might have a little bit of a hard time on this. You did miss very early. Utsuha misses well on the first circle.
Wait, this is unlucky, man.
It's the same map as it was in Toho tournament. I just realized that. That's crazy.
Yeah, this was a fun one.
So this is like 1,000 circle size.
Yeah, the CS2 is really, you know, I actually was very surprised that they picked this and didn't want to go for the over mod on one of these teams here, given that this is very hard rock favored. These cuts definitely are very hard, and there goes Rectagon.
Okay. Ohio's still in it.
By a decent amount. Rectagon lost a lot of score on those misses.
And Ed breaking as well, and Tony. That is Virginia just gone.
Ed was a Bancho miss, though.
Okay,
was
it?
Going.
All right, so Tony dropped. Ed did not. You just want to claw back like a point or two here if you're Ohio. You know, it's just the little steps to try and get back into this match. And if they can do it with this pick, you know, get a second point on the board at least, and just kind of start maybe to try to build some confidence. But every point is potentially the last now, and it's just a tough place to be. And as soon as Airyu forward break.
That's gonna be it for the score lead. And
Kablaze breaks too.
And Utsuha broke again, and Kablaze breaks again. It's Virginia.
It's just.
Hey. Okay, no, Ed. I thought
it's just Virginia. It's just Virginia.
It's literally just Virginia.
There is literally nothing left on Ohio. This was quite literally their last chance to bring it back. This is their pick. This is match point for Virginia, and there is no combos on Ohio right now, and nobody on Virginia misses the cut streams. This is basically just over halfway through the map now.
Yeah, they need a complete and utter collapse of their team right now in order for them to get back in.
Virginia needs literally everyone to break this map this very second for Ohio to start making a comeback, because in a map this long, 150,000 score difference is massive. Big cut stream.
Everyone hits that.
Rectagon with a very early miss has recovered exceedingly well with hard rock, and Tony just doing what Tony does on hidden with the 99. And there goes Utsuha again. Ohio just has no chance now, unfortunately. The only way that Ohio would have been able to make a comeback was if all three players held a combo and everyone on Virginia broke, but now it's basically gone. There goes Kablaze as well.
It's gone. Virginia gonna be your first team in the grand finals.
And in a dominant fashion, too. I mean, yes, there were close maps, but they won all of them. And this is just one-sided as a scoreline as it gets. You know, nearly the sweep. Not a fun spot to be in if you're Ohio.
This is going to be a very, very good one for Virginia as well. They haven't really shown up this well in past years, and now they're guaranteed top 2.
Yeah, I don't think they have ever gotten past top 4. Ever. This is really impressive showing from them all.
They have this just vastly improved roster.
Rectagon actually making quite a big difference, as well as Ed now with a more experience, I guess you could say.
Everyone
gonna-
on Virginia standing.
Wow.
Ed carrying Virginia there at the
That was
FC for almost the entire map.
That was a
Actually got
silver.
far behind.
Wow.
That's it. There's not really much to say. I mean, I'll mention it again. This was basically Texas, Florida, where Virginia is just having a really good match, and Ohio kind of just messed up a little bit on their map pick. So it's unfortunate, but Ohio had a good run this year. They have a really strong team. Hopefully,
They're
they
not out.
decide.
They're not out just yet.
I know, but it's very close.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get, in all likelihood, SoCal next week in the rematch.
Who they have beaten.
We'll have to see.
Rough week for Ohio, but they have another chance. Ohio is not gone, everybody. Ohio is not gone.
Ohio drops down to the losers bracket. They will face off against the winner of our next match. As you can see on screen, we switch over. We will have Florida versus South California coming up next. That match, the winner gets now their opponent decided in Ohio. But Virginia, man, moving on to the grand finals from the winners bracket in just a resounding defeat of Team Ohio. So that
great
was,
match from both of these teams. Virginia really proving that they deserve to be in the winners bracket, and I'm sure they are very, very happy about this. We're going to be seeing a lot of clips from Ed's stream about him freaking out, probably.
Ed streams are a good source of entertainment, I suppose.
Supposed. But a great match from both of these teams. Best of luck to Ohio next week in the losers bracket. They do have another chance to come back and visit us again on stream and maybe fight a little bit longer. But as we go over to this next match, we leave behind these two teams with a big congratulations to Virginia, who is really, really showing up this year. And